Hey y'all, and welcome back. It is Vlogmas, and today I am going over everything meal prep, how I am meal prepping for this upcoming week. If you don't know, my name is Nicole, and I work as a full-time clinical dietitian at a hospital, as well as a part-time fitness instructor at a Pilates-based studio. And then in 2020, I added this YouTube channel onto my list of priorities. About you, but when I get busy, I tend to then buy so much food from a delivery service, and I'm wasting an unnecessary amount of money. These meals are quick, efficient, and cheaper than anything you would buy off Uber Eats. So my meal prepping is a hybrid of sorts. You won't see me making the same meal every day. I will pre-make one meal that I know I will enjoy for a couple of times a week, and then I will also prepare different ingredients so that I can put together a meal within 10 minutes after work. That way, I am not bogged down with the same freaking meal every single day. I wanna enjoy the food I eat. So today I'm gonna show you what I prepare for the week so that me and my boyfriend are happy and healthy. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, press that like button. If you have one day off, I'm sure you have a million of things to do. So this is gonna be quick, easy, and when things are cooking, that's your time to clean, do other activities. So let's see how I meal prep for this week. The first step is to actually plan what you are gonna make for your meal prep. And I put this out in 4 easy steps. The first step is to pick a protein, either animal-based or plant-based. Second one is to pick a grain you are gonna make for the week. I'm choosing quinoa. The third one is which vegetable or vegetables you are gonna roast. I'm picking about 3 different kinds of vegetables because I'm a big veggie gal. And then the fourth is just to pick an entree that you don't get bored of. So that could be a stew, chili, soup, salad, etc. Once you write that list, collect all of your ingredients, and let's get to the kitchen. And this might look a little overwhelming, but don't worry, we will put it in small bites so that it's quick and efficient and it all makes sense. The way we will break it down is from what takes the longest to what takes the shortest. We're gonna start with cutting up our squash and our sweet potatoes and put the oven at 400 to bake these puppies. After your squash and sweet potatoes are done, it's time to put the egg muffins and your roasted vegetables into the oven. While those things are roasting, we will be making our turkey chili and our salad. And then if you wanted to cut up fruit, you could do that. That's our game plan. Let's do it. But first, grab yourself a glass of wine because cooking's more fun when you have a glass of wine. I am drinking the Chardonnay, a big churn from Trader Joe's. You know about it if you watched my Trader Joe's video. If you didn't, it's up here and down in my description below. Let's get cooking. Time to cut up these veggies. All right, so you are gonna cut the ends of your sweet potatoes off, half them so it's easier and quicker to cook in the oven. Place them in a bowl, add some olive oil, salt, pepper, and if you want any other seasoning, now is the time, mix it up, place it on the pan, and let's cut up that squash. A trick to cutting spaghetti squash is first placing it in the microwave for 3 to 5 minutes to soften it. Then you cut the outside edges off, and starting from the center of the spaghetti squash, using a smaller paring knife, I cut from the center all the way around the squash. It relieves pressure and it's way easier to cut than the long ways. The inside of the squash, all the seeds and strands that you don't want to eat out of the squash, and place that in a bowl. Inside the new hole, you can place some garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper, and then place that downside on your pan and put those things in the oven at 400 degrees for about 25 to 35 minutes. Since chicken also roasts in your oven at 400 degrees, let's prepare that next. Grabbing a pan, putting some extra virgin olive oil in it, and then alongside with your chicken, I am using boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I will then top the chicken with extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper, and today I am using oregano, but you can use any spice or seasoning you like. Place the chicken on the rack below the sweet potatoes and squash for about 25 minutes. Now let's prepare our vegetables that go in the oven after our squash is done. You grab some broccoli, and today I'm using Brussels sprouts. I cut them in small pieces that are easy to eat. The Brussels I am cutting in half, and then you place them on a roasting pan. I'm using half the roasting pan for the Brussels and half for the broccoli. To top my Brussels sprouts, I am using just garlic powder, salt, pepper, and olive oil. And then for the broccoli, it's a little bit of a plot twist. I am using curry powder, salt, pepper, and garlic. Freaking delicious. 10 out of 10 recommend. Now that we have prepared all of our roasting vegetables, our squash and sweet potatoes and chicken are in the oven, it's time to prepare and cook our turkey chili. So for this recipe, you will need half of an onion, 1 yellow squash, and 1 green squash. And if there's any other vegetable you want, go freaking for it. And I am using 3 cloves of garlic. So first, cut all of these ingredients into tiny bite-sized pieces that you feel comfortable eating on a spoon. Go over to our stovetop to quickly make our quinoa. To make quinoa, I grab 1 cup of dry quinoa and then 2 cups of liquid, either water or a stock. Put that on medium-high heat until it starts to boil. Turn it down to a simmer and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Once your big pot is nice and warm, add some extra virgin olive oil and then your garlic and onions. Stir the garlic and onions until they're a little translucent, I would say about 5 minutes or so, and then add your squash and zucchini. Make sure your stovetop is on medium heat. You can add salt and pepper here and cook down the zucchini for another 7 minutes. You can see my quinoa is starting to boil, so I'm going to turn down the heat to a simmer, place a top over the pot, and let that cook through again about 15 minutes. After 5 minutes, place my ground turkey on one side, mix until brown. As my ground turkey is cooking, I will season along the way, adding things like cumin, salt, pepper, smoked paprika, as well as some red chili flakes because I like things a little spicy. After the turkey is brown, I will add a can of tomatoes. I'm using whole tomatoes, but you can use diced. And then 2 tablespoons or more of chipotle. Now I like this because it adds a little bit more depth of flavor as well as spiciness. And if my dinner isn't making my lips tingle, it ain't dinner. If using whole tomatoes, crush and stir in the pot, following with adding the spices that you enjoy in your chili. I am using some oregano, cumin, red pepper / cayenne, smoked paprika, salt, pepper, and a little extra garlic onion powder. Stir these things together, put it on a low medium heat to let the flavors meld and cook through, and you are donezo. Now the quinoa, as you can see, is done as well. I put a fork through it, there's no more liquid. I will take that off the heat. All right, so our quinoa's done. Our chili is just simmering. It's done. We're just letting the flavors meld together. Our chicken just finished and our sweet potato squash just finished. So let me show you what they look like. Okay, so chicken, done. I'm gonna let this cool. I am gonna slice this later. I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit, slice it just so it's ready to put in salads, wraps, or just have it as a meal. Donezo. For the squash and the sweet potatoes, somebody told me around 30 minutes. I put mine in 36 minutes and it's perfect. Every oven's a little different. You know your half sweet potatoes are done when you can put a fork and it goes in pretty smoothly. Same with the squash, it's going in pretty smoothly. So, I'm just gonna make sure I'm gonna flip over my squash. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. So if you can flip it over, I'm not sure if you can see this, but if it pulls apart like spaghetti, done, completely done. So that's perfect. Almost touched the pan, LOL. That would've been crazy. Once your squash and sweet potatoes are done, move the oven or change the temperature to 375 rather than 400. That's too hot for your eggs and your vegetables. Turning that down, and then let's get to egg muffins. For your egg muffins, you can use so many different things. I'm using produce that is about to go bad in my refrigerator. So I have 12 eggs, a bell pepper, half an onion, grape tomatoes, and spinach, salt, pepper as well as a olive oil. Slice all of your vegetables very, very fine, teeny tiny pieces that you can put into a cupcake mold. And y'all, I can't believe, such a disgrace, I completely forgot to add cheese to my egg muffins. Usually I'll add some mozzarella, go freaking for it. I would also recommend adding some tiny garlic to the egg muffins. Such a rookie mistake on my part. If y'all are lucky enough to have a farmer's market near you, definitely buy produce to help support your local farmers. These eggs, if you can believe it, were buy one, get one at my farmer's market. So definitely do that. Crack 12 into a bowl, mix it up, add salt, pepper, And I'm plot twisting, adding chili onion crunch. If you haven't seen my Trader Joe's video yet, I cannot get over how delicious this is. I add about a tablespoon and then mix it up with salt and pepper and then add all of your vegetables. Here's the dealio with the cupcake liners. I was able to get 95% of my egg muffins out of the pan, but 5% still got stuck on the pan. If you rather use cupcake liners, that is also a choice. I would then recommend the aluminum cupcake liners. Carefully scoop your ingredients into each cupcake pan. I say fill them up about 75% of the way because these eggs will puff in the oven. Now that the muffins are done, vegetables are roaring to go, putting both of these things in the oven for about 15 minutes. See how they look. The eggs will probably be done in 15 minutes. The vegetables might need a little bit longer. So let's try it. 15 minutes, we'll see what they look like. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to put olive oil on top of these. I'm crazy. Make sure you olive oil your vegetables. All right, these are going in the oven. My favorite salad is a Greek salad ever of all time. So we are gonna make a salad and then a super easy dressing. The last thing we gotta make while everything else is roasted in the oven is our Greek salad for the week. I'll show you what I use for a Greek salad. If you don't have some of these ingredients, you don't need these ingredients, just grab whatever you got in your pantry. So I am using this kale. It was BOGO at my farmer's market. What a freaking steal, got that. So my green tomatoes, grape tomatoes. Mushrooms I had in my refrigerator. Cuke, red pepper, green pepper. Again, sale, what a treat. And then some canned stuff I'm gonna add to my salad. Chickpeas. I got some pitted black olives, yum. And then honestly, hearts of palm has got to be one of my favorite things ever. Hearts of palm. Put these up and put it in a bowl. This meal is seriously amazing. It's gonna have all of the fiber you want, plant-based protein, and then healthy fat from either an avocado, which I bought from the farmer's market, and your olive oil. Treat, 10 out of freaking 10. All right, time to make. Bunch and roll the kale into one piece, and then using your knife, cut tiny strips of kale, place that in a bowl, and massage it until the fibrous parts are a little softer. My favorite salads are when the veggies and ingredients are chopped very finely, but you chop your vegetables the way you like your salad. So I'm taking the green pepper, red pepper, mushrooms, cucumbers, place that in a bowl after chopping, and then my olives, hearts of palm, and grape tomatoes, same thing, put that in the bowl. Super easy Greek dressing. Grab half a cup of extra virgin olive oil, about a quarter cup of red wine vinegar, 1 whole squeezed lemon, 1 or 2 minced garlic clove, a tablespoon of honey mustard. You can also use Dijon mustard and maybe a squirt of honey, as well as a tablespoon or more of oregano, and of course, salt and pepper to taste. Shake that bad boy up, and you are done. All right, so the egg muffins are ready to go. I'm keeping the vegetables in for another 15 minutes and they will be ready to go. So I'm gonna grab the veggies. So here are your egg muffins. How freaking cute are they? They puffed up a lot of it, so I know it looked like there was barely any egg in each one, but they all have about one, maybe a little bit more egg in each of them. Once the spaghetti squash has cooled a little bit, I'll use a fork and scrape around the inside layer of the squash to pull out all of the vegetable from the skin. Place it in a Tupperware until you are ready to eat. Now back to the kitchen. Almost forgot the veggies, so I'm gonna pull those out. They should be good now, and we're all ready to go. We're fine, we're fine. How tasty do these look? Wow, 10 out of 10. Everything's done now. I'm gonna get them all together so we can take a nice family photo and you can see all the creations we just made. Now that all of your food is completely done, let's talk about shelf life and different ideas that you can do with this food. Before you put it in the refrigerator, make sure it cools down to room temperature first, because when something super hot goes in a cold environment, that is too quick of a temperature change for your food, and it can grow pathogens and germs and cause you to be sick and have some really not wanted GI issues. Let it cool out for 1 hour, an hour and a half, no more than 2 hours. If food is sitting out for longer than 2 hours, you really don't want to eat it. Once you cool it off, you put it in the refrigerator. How long does it last? Technically speaking, your poultry, fish, meats last about 3 to 4 days. If you haven't had food in the refrigerator for longer than 4 days and lived to tell the tale after eating it, literally every week. But just so you know, the food science way, 3 to 4 days is the safe amount of time to have something in the refrigerator. Now let's talk ideas, different things you can do with this food. Spaghetti squash. You can have this as a side. You can top the spaghetti squash with your turkey chili. You can have spaghetti squash with your chicken, maybe even mix it up with some of your vegetables. Now your sweet potato, it can be about the same thing. You can top some chili on it, sure. But if you wanted to make a sweet potato maybe a little more fun, you can add just a tiny bit of butter onto your sweet potato and maybe even some Greek yogurt, a dollop of Greek yogurt to mimic sour cream. Super decadent, super tasty, and that Greek yogurt will have some added benefit of protein and calcium. Win-win. Chicken, you can do whatever you want. Maybe add the chicken to your Greek salad. Have it with some quinoa, make a grain bowl. Chicken, quinoa, vegetables, yum. And maybe some avocado on the top. Your egg muffins. Now your egg muffins are perfect breakfast in the morning. You can even wrap them up in a wrap. These are my absolute favorite wraps. They are the extreme wellness. There's a bunch of different kinds, flavors that you can get. I always get the 100% whole wheat ones. They're 70 calories, I think 6 grams. Yep, 6 grams of fiber and 4 grams of protein. Generally speaking, when I look for a bread, I look for something with 3 grams of fiber. This has 6, and I look for something with 2 grams of protein. This has 4. So this is perfect for a wrap, a smaller burrito, tortilla, whatever you want. 100% take this. You can put your chicken in it, your egg in it. If you liked today's video, be sure to press that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Put your comments, if there's any questions you may still have that I forgot to go over, write them down below so that I can answer them for you. If you make any of these recipes or any kind of version of these recipes, let me know. Share this video with your friends on your social media. Tag me when you post your recipes. As always, until next time, eat your fruits and vegetables, drink your water, get your sleep, be kind to those around you, spread that holiday cheer, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.